This is for people who are very lazy. This is for people who do not like cooking. This is for people who want to eat healthy, but they're more focused on their goals than they are their food. Now, the way that I found is easiest for me to meal plan is I do not try to put together recipes. I have a very simple system, so it's just 4 ingredients, but the real part of this efficiency system lies in step 3. So now we get to the actual cooking phase and how you can make it more efficient. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my kitchen. I don't think that I've shown you my kitchen before. Here we are. So today I'm going to teach you not how to just make meal planning goals, but to create a meal planning system. Because like I talk a lot about on this channel, systems are so much more important than the goals. And like James Clear says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So I want to show you how to make such an easy system. This is just 3 parts and it's nothing super advanced. It's very easy, but a quote that I just read and it was so good was, the most advanced thing you could do are the basics every day. And that clicked so many things for me. And I do think you're gonna learn new things in this video, but they're not gonna be hard to implement. They're gonna be so easy. There's things that I don't hear about very often. And so I think you are gonna learn new things, but it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be the basics. It's not gonna be this big, complex, convoluted thing. The thing that I hate the most about cooking are these recipe pages that you scroll and scroll and scroll through someone's blog post just to get to the end and it's like 1,000 ingredients. Or on the other end of things, we've got another efficiency system, which is to meal plan at the start of the week, and you plan all of the exact same meal throughout the whole week, and then you have to eat the same thing over and over and over again. Now that's efficient, which I do appreciate the efficiency of it, I can appreciate that, but it's lacking the good taste and you get bored of it and then you can't stick to it long term because you made too many sacrifices in the beginning. So you wanna create a system where yes, you are making some sacrifices, you're eating healthy, but you're doing it in a way that's easy, in a way that's fun for you, so that you can actually sustain those results long term. Okay, so the first phase of this, which is so easy, is you're gonna meal plan. So this is one of the more basic steps, but I just get out a piece of paper and I just write down what are the meals gonna be this week. Meal 1, meal 2, and I do 5 meals. That's because that for me, for a 7-day week, maybe we'll eat out one day and then we go to a friend's house on Thursdays, so I only need to plan for 5 meals. The way that I meal plan is I just cook dinners, then for lunch I do leftovers, and then for breakfast I do something like really easy, like I grab a piece of toast or you have some cereal or something like really easy. So on the side here I do have like some snacks planned or some breakfast planned, some things like that, just extra ingredients. So I plan the 5 dinners and then I have kind of a side list of breakfast or snacks if I want those. Now the way that I found is easiest for me to meal plan is I do not try to put together recipes. I think like this is for people who are very lazy. This is for people who do not like cooking. This is for people who want to eat healthy, but they're more focused on their goals than they are their food. But they don't want their goals to be to the detriment of their body. So you want to make sure you're eating healthy, but someone doesn't really care that much about it. So what I do, and it's worked so well for me because I hate recipes. It takes so much time. Anytime you're learning something new, it's going to take extra time. So unless it's a recipe that I already know or I have memorized, I hate that constant checking back and forth. Recipe, do the step, recipe, do the step. It's so inefficient to do it that way. So what I like to do is I just pick a protein, a carb, a veggie, and a fruit. And I do not try to combine any of those things most of the time. Now I have some things that are really basic, like maybe I'll make a burrito bowl. So I have the carb, which is the rice, then I have the chicken on top, then maybe the salsa and avocado. So I've kind of combined them very easily, but I don't have any complex recipes that's requiring a ton of ingredients. A lot of times for my dinner, just 4 ingredients, add those things, maybe I'll do some seasoning here and there. But I just keep it really easy and I don't try to do recipes because I find that that's where things get complex and that's where it gets to the point where the work is beyond my level of desire, and so I can't sustain it long term. So as I'm meal planning, I'll kind of look ahead at the week. Okay, how many nights do I need? Are we going to be gone at different places? And then I'll also look in the fridge and I'll see what ingredients do we need to use up, and that's kind of the first thing that I'll put on here to make sure that we're using up those ingredients. And a lot of times I have a master list of notes in my phone. It's a list of the proteins that we like, a list of the veggies we like, a list of the carbs that we like. We like to stick to, you can do whatever you want. My husband has worked in nutrition and he was a personal trainer for a while, so I get a lot of this from him. But we try to stick to like lean meats. We try to stick to like salmon, chicken. We'll do like beans as a protein sometimes, but we try to stay away from like fatty red meats. And then we'll do, veggies. We try to make sure we get a variety of colors in our veggies because the different colors have different nutrients. And then for the carb, we try to pick like the whole carb. So a lot of times it's just the brown one's better than white ones. So like the brown rice is better than white rice. Whole wheat bread is better than white bread. So that's kind of the parameters that we stick to. But like I said, I'm more the systems person, not really the food person. So you can apply whatever things that you like to eat to this system, but that's just the way I do it. So I just know I've got this template. I need a carb, protein, veggie, and fruit. And that's what we do. And I don't worry too much about the precise serving size. Like for example, if our veggie for the night is we want to do green beans or whatever, I don't really think too much about like, okay, that's going to be half a can. Look at the can. Okay, how many servings that could be? No, I just dump the whole can. If we decide that that wasn't enough that time, we'll buy 2 cans next time. But I'll just do like 1 package of the thing or 2 packages of the thing, and we use it all up that meal because it gets a little too complex to be like, okay, I'm gonna use part of it in this meal and then later I'll use the rest of it in this meal. So no, I just buy these ingredients and the idea is that I'll use all of it in that meal because that cuts down on food waste. So now this brings us into phase 2. Now that you have your meals planned, now we get into the grocery shopping phase. So something that I do, which I'm very passionate about, I've been very passionate about this since I was like 15. This is extremely nerdy. I guess this was foreshadowing of what was to come with my career. But I had this idea for a grocery shopping app. Each grocery store could have this app and it would organize by the aisles of that particular store. So you could go in and you could type in your grocery list by the aisles so that as you went, you would go as efficiently as possible. See, we knew I had an efficiency problem at that point already. I still do that. So I'll take this list and then maybe on the back of it, make a new list, but this list is sorted by the sections of the grocery store. And I think about the grocery store that I'm going to. And I just do that kind of loosely, you know, like frozen or dairy, or, you know, you just sort it by the sections of that grocery store that make sense loosely. I'll maybe do like 5 categories or so. A lot of times I'll do this on my phone. I like that because then you can check as you go down the list. You just go in the Notes app, make a check, and you go down the list that way. I really love to do online grocery ordering. That's the thing that we do the most often. We just go to the computer, and that way you don't have to organize it even by the grocery list. You just type in the things. So that's what we do most often. I wanted to have some nice B-roll for you in this shot, so we went to Trader Joe's for you. You're welcome. So we went to Trader Joe's. You know, we went section by section, but the real part of this efficiency system lies in step 3. So now we get to the actual cooking phase and how you can make it more efficient once you get to the cooking phase. So I have decided every day at what time do I need to start getting ready for dinner. So Garrett gets home at 4:15, so I start at 4 o'clock getting ready. So if there are 2 of you, what I really like to do is divide the roles into one is kind of the prep person to get things started, and then one is the cooking person. Now, if you're just one person, the roles are so easy that you could do it. You know, you could do all of it at once. So at 4 o'clock, what I do is I start tidying. So before I film this video, this counter did not look so clean like this. So what I do is I start by cleaning out the space. You know, I wipe down the counter, get everything clean because my role is the prep person. So to get everything ready. So another tactic that I really love that I've talked about in other videos on the channel, but it's mise en place, which is basically you get everything ready, you get everything out, you get everything in its place in a sequential order so that it's easy to get into it. Now that's just a great productivity tip in general. Typically that's applied to cooking, like you get everything in its place, but I love it for other areas of life too. It's part of the setup method that I have, which is you get started in one sitting and then you get into it in a different sitting. So it's helpful that I can be the one to get things started and then Garrett can be the one to get things cooking. So I like to clean off the counter and then I set everything out that we're going to need, which I have a very simple system. So it's just 4 ingredients. And then the supplies you also need is you need a plate for each person and silverware, obviously. And then you also need Tupperware for each person. So I'll show you these. So I've got these Tupperware. I really like them. I recommend them. I'll have these linked in the description box. But I like them because, you know, you've got a bottom tray and a top tray. So sometimes I'll do like, you know, if we've got fruit, I'll do the cold stuff in the top and I'll do the warm stuff in the bottom, but you can divide it differently. The lid also shuts just with this section. So if you don't need this section that day, it also came with a little dressing holder in the middle. So if you want to make a salad in here, you put the dressing here. So I will set both of these out. So I've got the 2 Tupperwares here. And then I will set out plates and forks for both of us. And then there's almost always something to chop. So I'll set that out for myself. I'll set out the cutting board and the knife. So this part right here is what I consider to be my station. So I've got a Tupperware for him, a Tupperware for me, a plate for him, a plate for me, and then also the cutting board. So part of our system is, since I'm the prep cook, I will set all the things that need chopped at my station, and then all the things that need cooked, I'll set over at the oven at his station. So I'll just take an example meal. So here's a couple of the ingredients. So I'm gonna do the chicken breast meal as an example. So the ingredients for this meal are chicken breast for the protein, rice for the carb, salsa and avocado for the veggie. That's probably not the best example of a veggie, but that's what we're doing this night. And then strawberries for the fruit. So I'm gonna set the chicken breast and the rice at his station. Those are the first 2 that I grabbed because that's part of the cooking. And then the salsa, avocado, and the strawberries I'll set over at my station because I might chop and wash the strawberries, you know, I'll chop the avocado, and then I will scoop the salsa onto everyone's. It's not a warm thing, so we just consider that part of my job in the thing. So you'll notice, we didn't plan this like super intentionally. I just got 1 thing of strawberries. I didn't think too hard about how many strawberries should I get? What's the serving size? I didn't really think too hard about it. It's just, I bought 1 container of strawberries. We'll divide it in 4 parts and that's how we'll eat it. So what I have is it's divided into the 2 stations. So everything I need is on this side of the room and everything that he needs is on this side of the room. Then we're not kind of like in each other's way. It works really well that we have this long counter, so it works especially well for that. But if you had, you know, a different type of counter, you could divide it differently. So at this point, so it's like at 4 o'clock to 4:15 that I'm doing all this. You know, the cleaning might take some time, maybe unload the dishwasher, get things all set. Then when he comes home at 4:15, he's found that it's a lot easier for him to like want to get into cooking. If you get home and then you sit down, you kind of get into this object at rest stays at rest. So it's better to take advantage of the object in motion stays in motion. So when he gets home and he sees everything's all ready to go, it's a lot easier to get started. So what we would do is we would cook this dinner and then we would immediately serve it up to the 2 plates and the 2 Tupperwares. We serve everything all at once. And I like to always save my reward for the end. I like to do the work first, then the reward. And it's kind of the object in motion stays in motion. So I like to do all the cleanup before I eat. That's kind of my reward as I get to eat. So I clean up my station, the chopping station. Garrett cleans up his station, which is the cooking station. And so then we're all ready to go. So we'll serve up a quarter of the ingredients to each plate. We'll serve up a quarter of the ingredients to each Tupperware. And then we kind of like let the Tupperware sit and cool while we're eating because we find that they'll kind of like seal if it's too hot. And then we'll put it in the fridge. So yeah, that's how I meal plan. I feel like it's so easy. It's so efficient. You know, I've tried a bunch of things since I've been out of the house, you know, working on things. And I feel like that's a system that's worked for me. It's like healthy enough, but it's yummy enough. It's easy enough, but it is kind of systematized. So I feel like this is working really well for me. So let me know what you guys like in the comments. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.